Have you ever felt like you're trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing? Especially when it comes to understanding women. It's not about mind, it's about understanding the fascinating world of female psychology. Today, we're diving deep into some hidden truths that might just change the way you see things. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have some serious aha moments. So, what's the first big secret? It's something called the tend and befriend response. You've probably heard of the fight-or-flight response to stress, right? Well, research suggests that women often have an additional layer to this. Under pressure, women are more likely to protect their offspring that, the tend part, and seek out social support from their community, the befriend part. This is driven by the hormone oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which is amplified by female hormones. It's a powerful, primal instinct for connection and protection. So, when a woman reaches out to her friends during a tough time, it's not just for a chat. It's a deeply ingrained psychological survival mechanism at work. It highlights the immense value women place on social bonds and emotional support systems. Now, let's talk about something we all experience: emotions. It's often said that women are more emotional, but that's a huge It's more accurate to say women often have a higher emotional granularity. What does that mean? It's the ability to feel and identify specific, nuanced emotions. Instead of just feeling bad, a woman might be able to pinpoint that she's feeling disappointed, frustrated, and a little bit anxious all at once. This isn't a weakness. It's a superpower. This emotional detail allows for more precise communication and a deeper understanding of interpersonal dynamics. It's also why women often excel in roles that require high emotional intelligence. So, next time you think someone is overly emotional, consider that they might just be operating with a more detailed emotional vocabulary. Have you ever noticed how women can often pick up on subtle social cues that others miss? A slight shift in tone, a fleeting facial expression, tend pause. These tiny details can speak volumes. This isn't magic, it's a heightened sensitivity to non-verbal communication. Studies have shown that, on average, women are better at decoding body language and facial expressions. This skill likely evolved from the need to understand the needs of pre-verbal infants and to navigate complex social structures. It's a key part of what makes many women such effective communicators and nurturers. They're not just listening to your words, they're reading the entire story you're telling with your presence. This ability to read between the lines is fundamental to building deep and meaningful connections. Let's debunk another myth: the idea that women are less competitive. This is completely untrue. Women are just as competitive as men, but they often express it differently. While men's competition can be more overt and direct, women's competition is often more subtle and relational. It might play out in social circles, in striving for community standing, or in indirect comparisons. This isn't about being sneaky. It's about a different strategic approach. The goal is often to gain status or resources without disrupting the social harmony that, as we discussed, is so psychologically important. So, the competitive drive is absolutely there. It just operates under a different set of rules. Recognizing this different style of competition is key to understanding social dynamics in any group. Now, let's touch upon the spotlight effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where people tend to believe they are being noticed more than they really are. While everyone experiences this, some studies suggest it can be more pronounced in women, especially in social situations. This can be linked to societal pressures and expectations about appearance and behavior. It's that feeling of everyone is looking at me when you walk into a room. This can lead to increased self-consciousness, but it also fuels a greater awareness of social presentation. Understanding this can foster more empathy. The next time you see someone who seems a bit self-conscious, remember they might just be under their own internal spotlight, feeling like their every move is being scrutinized, even when it isn't. What about multitasking? Is it a myth or a female specialty? The truth is a bit of both. True, simultaneous multitasking, doing two cognitively demanding tasks at the exact same time, is something the human brain, male or female, isn't really built for. However, women often excel at what's called task switching. This is the ability to rapidly and efficiently switch their attention between different jobs. Think of a mom juggling a work call, helping with homework, and keeping an eye on dinner. Her brain is quickly moving from one task to another. This ability may be neurologically linked to the corpus, the part of the brain that connects the left and right hemispheres, which is sometimes found to be more robust in women. This allows for faster communication between the brain's logical and intuitive sides, making that rapid switching more seamless. Let's discuss risk. It's often assumed that women are more risk-averse than men, and in some domains, like financial gambling or extreme physical challenges, statistics might support that. But this is not the full picture. Women take risks all the time. They just tend to be different kinds of risks. For example, a woman might take a huge social risk by speaking out against injustice in her community, or an emotional risk by being vulnerable and initiating a difficult conversation to save a relationship. They might take a career risk by starting a passion project business from scratch. The perception of risk is subjective. What one person sees as a terrifying leap, another sees as a necessary step toward a goal. Women are constantly evaluating and taking calculated risks to protect their families, improve their communities, and pursue their ambitions. Finally, let's talk about intuition, that famous woman's intuition. Is it a mystical sixth sense? Not exactly. It's more like a high-speed, unconscious data processing system. Remember how we talked about women's ability to read nonverbal cues and their high emotional granularity? Intuition is what happens when the brain takes all of that subtle data, the tone of voice, the body language, the context, past experiences, and processes it so quickly that it feels like a gut feeling. It's not magic. It's a highly refined pattern recognition skill that's been honed over a lifetime of social observation. It's the brain connecting dots that aren't immediately obvious to the conscious mind. So, when a woman says something just feels off, it's often wise to pay attention. Her subconscious mind might have just flagged something important that you completely missed. Understanding these aspects of female psychology isn't about putting people into boxes. It's about appreciating the beautiful complexity and diversity of the human experience. These are general tendencies, and every individual is unique. But by knowing these patterns, we can build more empathy, communicate more effectively, and strengthen our relationships with the women in our lives, our partners, mothers, sisters, and friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. I hope it gave you some valuable insights. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next video. What psychological truths have you noticed? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until next time, stay curious.